Okay, hi. So, for today's chapter, I'm going over chapter 9. It's not just about you, and because of the title of the chapter and its content and whatnot, I decided to do this here at work and highlight my beautiful work children, my wonderful team members. So today I have the wonderful Will, Prince William, and the beautiful Mila here with me today. So we have questions that we have to answer for chapter 9. So I'm just going to ask them these questions regarding me and my leadership here at work. I work at Culver's, again, if you haven't figured it out in the last 5 videos. So anyway, you guys can answer them together, answer them separately, whatever you'd like to do. So number 1 is, what are the values that this person, i.e. me, hold? What are my values?
I'll go first. I think that you hold respect, probably hard work and respect the most. I think that, like, especially on a team environment like this, that's kind of the thing you push for all the time. And I guess excellence too. I mean, excellence, I would say, is probably the biggest one. You know, it's times where I'm in the back doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, and you're always watching and monitoring, and you try and be, the best you can, and then push everyone else to do the same.
It's kind of like what Will said, but also you also hold like the fact that you treat us more like family than friends or coworkers. There has been multiple times where I felt like I was like gonna freeze up on something, and you like just said chill out, and you helped me. And even though you will strive and like you'll push to be a little bit like more stern, you still have a big heart for everyone. So I think you hold everyone dear, even though sometimes you say that like you're gonna be stern. So
Mine do too. I'm legit gonna cry throughout this. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, what are my standards? This kind of goes into question 1. But what are standards that I have?
I would say, I guess excellence is your best. The most important. Anything through drive-through to up front, anything. You just make sure everyone does their best, and if it's their best, then that's the standard. So you just kind of hold everyone to their full potential.
yeah, again, Will said it all. You just want all of us to succeed, and I think with the way that you're doing things and the plans and programs you want to set out, I think that's really going to set the path for everyone.
Yeah.
The third question is, what are future hopes and aspirations? So.
On a Culver's.
Hey!
I got you. On a Culver's.
You know what's up.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like, low-key, I see you as like a strong CEO businesswoman. Like, you can really do it. You can pull through. I'm not talking like secretary. I'm not talking anything lower. Like, big company CEO.
On this. Yes. What are some higher order purpose? So, like, you know how you have your general standards on a shift? Okay, but then you have, like, your life goals and stuff and your life purpose. So what is the higher order purpose that gives this person's work and life meaning, if you guys know?
I would say education. I think you value education a lot, and I think that's one thing that drives you, like, in your work environment, but outside of work, and music. I think music plays a big part in your life, and kind of like that rhythm and tempo and everything, like just kind of having that. I think that kind of, you do it obviously for enjoyment and stuff, but I think that kind of is who you are.
Yeah. Not only that, but to add to it, like, you obviously hold like a psychological and mental value to a lot of things as well. And you try to spread it around to people. For instance, for example, like me with languages, you help me with the program and stuff like that. And I actually use it, and I'm so happy that I have someone, even though it's at Culver's, like, I'm just happy to have someone in my life who, like, I can share the same, like, interests in, and, like, I can look up to. And if I actually do need help, like, I can actually reach you, like, through text and be like, hey, not as a Culver's coworker, but as a friend, like, can you help me with this?
Yo voy a llorar, no mames. La última question is going to be, what are common themes about a possible shared vision? So, like, when we're all working together, what is a shared vision? But also in life, if you know more or less, what is a possible shared vision that we all have?
Owning a store.
I
would say that's the biggest one.
Going off what I last said, owning a whole business, like being the CEO, like, making it big in life.
Up like the stars. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. off
I got
the
you.
clock
I got
too.
you. I got you. I know, and I clocked out. I know.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So, these are my kids. I've, how long has it been? 3 months? 4? A little bit longer.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
4 months, and then 6 months?
Something like that.
Something like that. So I've had the wonderful opportunity to work with this beautiful lady here for about 4 months now, on and off with shifts. I've worked with Will quite a bit for the past half a year. Both are doing really well. Will moved up to be a trainer in the last couple months, last 3 months he's been a trainer. Mila is one of our newer girls here. She's starting to pick up drive-through, all this really good stuff. But these are my kids. So for myself, what are the values that I hold? My guys they hit it pretty much on the mark. The values that I have, education is a big priority for me, simply because I've been going through a whole intellectual framework shift in this idea of, okay, well, what's right or wrong? I'm a black woman trying to figure out my whole dual identity crisis here. And the first 2 years of college, I was like, white people, like, oh my God, I was dying. But that was a very poisonous kind of thought pattern to have and stuff. And I was looking at my white teachers with a certain amount of animosity, because I'm like, you don't look like me, you don't get what I'm saying, like I'm talking this slang, and you're just over here like with girl posh English. And I was really mad and irritated. But I had to go through that experience because that's what a lot of students go through, this idea of not being accepted for who they are, and this idea of their voice not being valued. And it's not just a black and white kind of thing, it's like anything, right? So not just in the academic world either. So at work, I try to make a point. I am a little crazy with the whole, you gotta follow my rules, follow my standards, because of the high expectations that I set. But I do at least try to let my guys know, like, hey, you set your boundaries with me first and foremost, because I respect you as a person and as a human, because I don't want to diss anyone's boundaries. If I'm calling you, like, I come up with cute names for people sometimes, and if I call you a name that you find offensive, just hit me up and it'll stop, like, automatically, all this good stuff. So this whole idea that education can be an opportunity to uplift the voices, the unheard voices of other people, and improve the entire community as a whole is a really strong part for me. Music, rhythm, everything I believe has a rhythm in life. I will often say that I see my father at work dancing because of the speed he moves at work. My father figures Luis. I love that man so much. My standards, as Will and both Mila pointed out, I am committed to excellence. One of my girls last year called me Miss Black Excellence, because surprise, I'm black, Miss because I'm a girl, and then excellence because I kept striving for excellence in both my academics. I had a 4.0 at one point. We're not going to ask what happened last semester. But in everything that I do, I try to strive for a certain amount of excellence, just because I know that things can get better if we're all moving towards the same direction. My hopes and aspirations, it is, again, always based around education and just improving. I love the growth mindset. I need to be careful about not dissing the amount of growth that has already occurred in keeping my eye only on future growth. I need to acknowledge the growth that has already happened, lift people up more. I need to be, at least definitely in my work environment, I need to be more encouraging with my kids and maybe like a little less harsh on things, but at the same time, we still have goals that we're working on. So finding that balance is really important, but that ties into my hopes and aspirations for the wider world, and this idea that there's a lot of stuff wrong with it. As you saw in video number 2, I was kind of freaking out about the global world, but if you take it one chunk at a time, then everything will just fall in line. Higher order purpose. We talked about this idea of servant leadership back in my honors course last semester, my honors leadership course. And this idea of being a servant to your people, that's really important for me, because like if my people don't follow me, then if I don't know my people, if I'm not, it's a grassroots movement is what it's called. In some places, guerrilla warfare is what it's called in like Vietnam and stuff, but we're not going there. But this idea that, it's great to be a leader, to have leadership qualities or whatever, but if you don't know why people are doing things, you don't know what is intrinsically motivating them, going back to the education speak, then you're not going to understand who they are as people, and you're not going to really get to the meaningful, purposeful learning or purposeful engagement in your work environment or in school or what have you. So for me, it's building the sense of community, building the sense of family, and then just really driving home the idea, look, regardless of what it is that you're going through, I'll support you through it. I'm here for you. I love you so much, even though I just met you. Hey, we could have just met. All right, but I'm here for you if you're in my community. Common themes about possible shared vision, as I'm sure you've gotten from this video, this whole idea of improvement. I'm constantly seeking to improve. Like I said, I'm learning to be a little less, not judgmental, but a little less judgmental of my kids and of people that I'm kind of in charge of, right? But for myself, I don't think that there should be like any wiggle room, right? Because like there's a vision in my brain of what it is that I should be doing and who I should be, and I'm not there yet, so like why would I rest kind of thing. Like that's stupid for me at least. Although again, finding that sense of balance is really important. But I think we all, at least the people that I'm coming in contact with, we all have the shared vision of if we want to improve, we want to learn, we want to grow, and we're all so painfully curious about this life, and it's really a beautiful thing to see, especially my kids, my poor children working 40 and 30 hours a week, you poor souls, going to school and everything. Oh, bless these souls. But anyway, so that was chapter 9. Thank you so much. 11 minutes instead of 20. Bye.